It's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
We must, as a nation, be more unpredictable. We are totally predictable.
Why do they have to talk about it? Don't talk about it. Element of surprise.
We must, as a nation, be more unpredictable. We are totally predictable.
Why do they have to talk about it? Don't talk about it. Element of surprise. Why can't they win first and talk later?
Militarily, I don't like to say where I'm going and what I'm doing. America's enemies must never know our plans. I will not say when we are going to attack. We no longer tell our enemies our plans.
What is going on? What happened? Oh, he made a mistake, everybody. He miscut it. He miscut the clip. All right, Scotty, give me your data. That's the punishment. Yeah, so anyway, you get the point. He wants to be unpredictable. Everything is I don't telegraph my intentions. He tweeted a missile threat this morning, okay? That's what he did. He tweeted, "Get ready, Russia, because they will be coming nice, new, and smart." Talking about missiles. No, he doesn't telegraph anything. He uses the internets. He uses Twitter. No more telegraph. No more telegraph. You're the telegraph. I'm modern. I'm a modern president. I tweet. It's like I tweet war threats in Super H. And, you know, now that he's tweeted that he is going to attack Syria, he has to attack Syria, which is how I know we're attacking Syria. Because if he tweeted that he's going to attack Syria, to Russia, by the way, because Russia is in Syria. Russia flies all kinds of missions for Syria. You know, they are the Syrian Air Force. The Iranians are in there too, okay? And they're all supporting the dictator, Bashar al-Assad, right? And so if Trump is tweeting that we must attack Syria, then if he doesn't attack Syria, everybody in the world says, this man is full of crap. Everything he said, he's so full of crap. He's so full of crap. He tweets to Putin this morning, "You shouldn't be partners with a gas-killing animal who kills his people and enjoys it." What is he begging Putin to be friends with him instead? I don't even understand what this is supposed to mean. Don't be friends with a gassing animal. Be friends with me. Be friends with. I talk about you so nicely and strongly. Everything with him is strongly. I'm going to deliver it strongly. You know what he doesn't telegraph his decisions. He doesn't make decisions, okay? He just stews and whines and tweets and procrastinates. He's like some dimwit version of Hamlet, you know? To bomb or not to bomb? That's the question. I'm inscrutable. I never telegraph what I'm going to... I mean, honestly, I got to tell you, right now, commercial airlines are freaking out. Commercial airlines that fly... You know, the only airline that flies over Syria is Syrian Air. Okay, no other airlines fly over Syria, but they do fly around Syria. They fly to Cyprus, they fly to Greece, they fly in the Mediterranean. All these commercial pilots have been warned this morning. Be very careful when you're doing your flight planning because, you know, you could get your signals jammed, right? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on, and maybe you'll lose your GPS, or maybe, you know, Russia can, you know, jam you or whatever, and you could get stuck being Malaysia Airlines, which was shot down, right? And they're telling everybody, all the commercial airlines, the people, if you have a son or a daughter who's on a Navy vessel in the Mediterranean, you probably know that they're drilling. They've been drilling to launch these freaking Tomahawks. They're like, you know, I mean, and the crazy part is, our military had no idea that he was going to do this. They didn't have a clue. Now everybody's scrambling. That's why the commercial airlines are warning each other. That's why all of a sudden there's drills going on in the Mediterranean on, you know, the, what is that ship? The Ross is out there. There's a bunch of them. And the military had no idea he was going to do this. He's so unhinged. He's so crazy. I can't even tell you. And then he tweets, no collusion or obstruction other than I fight back. So now they do the unthinkable and raid, in caps, a lawyer's office for information. Bad. B-A-D in caps with an exclamation. Nothing makes you feel like, the commander-in-chief is a capable guy than wrapping up tweets with bad. All in caps. Oh, he freaks me out. This is why, I think Paul Ryan said, we've done all that we could do with this guy. And we've created a $1 trillion deficit. And we gave all the money to the rich people. And now the rich people are going to need lobbyists because the Democrats are going to take the House. And they're going to try to raise taxes again, to pay for all this spending. And I could either stick around and stick it to the people who, get Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Or I can make real money and go to K Street and lobby for these corporations who can afford, like Facebook, $1,200 an hour lobbyists to keep everything as usual. That's what's going on here, because you've got a crazy man as president. I mean, an absolute nutbag as president. And this man is in so much trouble. Oh, my God. He is in so much freaking trouble. Remember, this is a guy, who ran at the same time he was being sued for fraud in a civil. This is criminal now. But in a civil setting, he was sued for fraud for Trump University, for ripping off students, for God's sake. This is a guy who bankrupted casinos. He's the only guy I ever told you where the House wins. Where the House doesn't win. Sorry. He's the only casino owner who didn't win. And then he stiffed workers. He uses illegal labor. He discriminates against African-American renters. He violates the Federal Trade Commission rules on stock purchases. He does business with the mob. He does business with Eastern European kleptocrats and oligarchs. His properties are the go-to vehicle for Russian oligarchs to launder their money. Really? You don't think this guy is in trouble? Because I think this guy is in trouble. I think Paul Ryan thinks this guy is in trouble. I think the U.S. military thinks this guy is in trouble. In fact, the military was so pissed off the other day. It's so funny because the only shot that I saw of him using the cabinet meeting about Syria to rant and rave about, he said Mueller broke into his lawyer's office. No, Mueller had nothing to do with it. This is the FBI in New York. The U.S. attorney in New York had to recuse himself. God only knows why this guy recused himself. Either it's because he was law partners with one Rudy Giuliani. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the U.S. attorney was handpicked. Remember, Trump interviewed him himself, which is just bizarre because you're not supposed to do that because the president and law enforcement are separate. And that's why Sessions is supposed to be picking U.S. attorneys, right? Well, Trump actually interviewed this U.S. attorney, Jeffrey, little Jeff over there, who, was he worked at a lobby shop called Greenberg Traurig, and then went to work for Rudy Giuliani. And I guess that's how he ended up on the radar screen. I don't know. But then Trump interviews him personally and then gives him the job to be U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York, which conveniently is Donald Trump's backyard where his business is. But that guy recused himself. So that means somebody else in his office had to approve, the application for the warrant, and a judge found probable cause and signed off on it. It has nothing to do with Mueller. Mueller didn't order this. Mueller didn't do anything about this. He just said, this is outside the scope of what I'm doing, but I found crime, so I'm going to refer it to the proper authority, which is the U.S. attorney in New York, who then has to recuse himself. And I think it's because he's Rudy Giuliani's law partner, or because some combination of being Rudy Giuliani's law partner and being personally interviewed by the president somehow compromised his ability to look into the president. But meanwhile, it goes to a judge, and a judge signs off saying there is probable cause, and go ahead and, serve this warrant through the FBI. The FBI goes. Michael Cohen said that they were very polite, that they were, deferential to his family, but 12 agents showed up at his door at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So, and by the way, if he does fire Rod Rosenstein, who I think is the first person that he goes after, I really do. If he goes after Rod, because Rod has to be the person to fire Mueller statutorily, so he'll get rid of Rod first. That's a constitutional crisis as well, okay? And then he'll go down the list of the Solicitor General. I told you yesterday, Noel Francisco. All of a sudden, you're going to know his name. Rachel Brand, who was the number 3, she already left and went to Walmart, so now it falls to this guy, the Solicitor General. I mean, it's going to go down the line. Now, are these people going to commit political suicide, or, they're career employees? They've worked their whole lives. Are they going to commit political suicide to save Donald Trump? Even though what they do will not save Donald Trump. And here's why. This is why I told you. It's so important that this was brought in New York State, because the president can't pardon Michael Cohen. He can't, because the president can't pardon state crimes. And if Michael Cohen is, being tried for a state crime, or being tried in New York State, the president can't do anything. Can't save his ass. Which means Cohen either rolls over and says, here's where all the bodies are buried, which is an interesting thing to think about, because maybe Michael Cohen saw the president throw him under the bus the other day when he said, oh, no, I didn't know anything about this payment. You have to ask Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen's my attorney. You go ask Michael Cohen. And maybe Michael Cohen said, okay, I give. I wanted him to bring me to the White House. He didn't bring me to the White House. And I said, oh, okay. And then I took care of the Stormy Daniels thing, and he didn't pay me back. And I said, oh, okay. And now I got to watch him as he stands on the TV and threatens my law license by saying that I acted as his attorney in the Stormy Daniels case and didn't tell him that I was making $130,000. He damn well knew about that. There is no way I didn't tell him. And he's throwing me under the bus. My law license is on the line. F him. And he rolled over already. That's a possibility, too. But remember, no matter who Donald Trump fires, whether it's Rod and then he hires somebody to fire Rod, or he goes to the Solicitor General to fire, if he's successful in doing it, doesn't end this investigation. This one into Michael Cohen is going to spread to every Trump apartment, to every Trump oligarch that he did business with, to every, and it won't go away. You could fire the special prosecutor and it won't go away. It still lives on in New York State. Now, of course, Donald Trump did do business with the mob. Donald Trump did do business with Russian oligarchs. Donald Trump was the go-to apartment to buy if you were a Russian oligarch looking to launder money. Everybody knows that. He did lose the Trump University fraud case. He did settle with all those students who brought that case. He has been involved in pyramid schemes. He has bankrupted his own casinos. He has stiffed his vendors. He has discriminated against Africa. I mean, this is his history. So, of course, he ended up with a bunch of grifters and liars and crooks. And, of course, everybody around him, Michael Cohen was the go-between. And his office is chock full of information about this. He is in so much trouble, this man. So what does he do? He bombs Syria. It's the go-to move.